Welcome back to NFL Breakdown Week 3. I'm Golf Guru Greg, joined alongside by the foreigner known as Scott Donald. Scott, how you doing today?
I'm very good. How are you doing today?
Good, good. Shirtless Wonder, we're joined by you again. Clinton, how you doing, man? All right. Football Guru Nate, how you doing?
I'll tell you what, last week was disappointing for the football guru, let me tell you. I'm hoping for a very good comeback week for me.
Yeah, that was rough for you. I know we've been giving you crap all week about the Saints game, but I'm not going to give you any. I'm just going to support my team and wear my stuff. So other than that, guys, welcome back. Here we are, week 3 already. Week 2 is in the books. We got a couple of undefeated teams still, one being the Raiders. Huh? How about that? Clinton, what did you think about that Raiders and Saints game?
Wow. Dude, I did not think the Saints were impressive at all, to be honest. That was actually one of the worst performances I've seen from the Saints as an overall team. They looked really good against the Bucks and not good at all against the Raiders.
Yep, agreed. All right, guys, we're going to start with one takeaway from last week. The foreigner, we're going to start with you. Just one takeaway that you saw from any team. Could be the worst team, the Jets. Could be the best team, the Bucks. Just one takeaway that you saw last week that you liked or disliked.
Well, I'm gonna have to sadly bash on Nate here, but I think the Saints were very disappointing. I saw them against the Bucks, and they were on a roll and took part a good team. And against the Raiders, they didn't have Michael Thomas, and it just shows you what a big piece was missing in that offense. And Breeze, just not the same as he used to be.
Shirtless, all you.
So I'm actually going to talk about the same game, but I'm going to talk about a player who impressed me, and that's Derek Carr. I think Monday night against the Saints, Derek Carr proved that I think this season he's a top 10 quarterback out there.
Wow.
He's playing out of his mind this year, and I'm thinking he's going to have a really good season this year.
Nate, what do you got?
Well, before I give my take on the week, I'll say something about the Saints. And it was penalties that killed them, man. There was 2 scoring drives for the Raiders that would have ended with a 3-and-out or a third down that just penalties killed them. They kept the drive alive, and they went on to score, and they won by 2 scores. So take those away, take away some penalties on offense, and, I think that game goes in the Saints' favor. But they got to clean up on defense with the penalties. And hopefully when they get Michael Thomas back, that offense looks a little bit better. It does not look good for them. Very disappointing for me. But my biggest take of the week actually is Justin Herbert. That guy is an animal. Came in last second start. Unfortunately, very sad. Tyrod Taylor couldn't make the start because he got his lung punctured. Hopefully they figured that out for him. I think Tyrod Taylor is better than people give him credit for. But, man, Herbert looked really good. Really looked like he could definitely be the star there in LA and make them a contender here in the next coming years.
Yeah, he did. I didn't quite understand why Anthony Lynn said that when Taylor comes back, he's the starter, but it is what it is. My one takeaway was the Vikings. I think the Vikings are one of the worst teams in the NFL after being favored in the division before week 1. That is probably a bottom 5 team in the NFL right now. I think Kirk Cousins is one of the worst quarterbacks. I think the only good player they have is Dalvin Cook and Thielen. I'll give Thielen some credit. But, yeah, that's probably the worst team in the NFL after being favored, like I said, to start the season. I just don't get it. I really don't. Okay, guys, other than that, we're going to move on, and we are going to recap our win and loss records. We told you guys last week we're going to start a win-loss record ratio from week 2 on, every game documented, just wins and losses, not spreads. And at the end of the season, we're going to tally it up, see how we did. So in first place after week 1 is Golf Guru Greg, who went 14-1. The only game I missed was Detroit. I picked Detroit to win against Green Bay. I won every other game. If you guys don't believe me, you can go check out the first video we made. In second place, we have the Shirtless Wonder, Clinton, who missed on the Atlanta game and missed on the Vikings game. Atlanta blew it. They were up. I don't even know how many points they were up, but had a chance to win, didn't recover the onside kick. Just a horrible game, almost reminded me of the Super Bowl, and that gives me nightmares. Clinton, you also missed the Vikings game. Unfortunately, you and Nate picked the Vikings. Coming in and a tie for third, actually, is Nate and Scott. So you guys both went 11-4 with your records. You both had the Falcons. Scott, you had the Panthers. You lost with that one. I understand you have to support your team. I give you credit. Scott, you also had the Giants and the Jags. You almost looked like a genius with that Jags game, I'll tell you what. And the Giants actually played it close too. So a couple of different plays in those games, and you might have found yourself 13-2. But Nate, you missed the Eagles. You were the only one that had the Eagles, and then you missed the Saints game. You were the only one that had the Saints, and Atlanta and the Vikings as well. So that is the recap. I am in first, Clinton's in second. We have a tie for third with the Foreigner and the Football Guru. And we will move on again to the spreads. Guys, spreads and game totals this week. We have a Thursday night football game that I am disgusted by. I am not sure who decided to make this the Thursday night football game, but if they wanted no views, then they got it. We have the Miami Dolphins going into Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. The spread is the Jags by 3 with an over-under total of 48.5. The Foreigner, I'll turn this one over to you because I don't really want to talk about this game. Who are you liking spread-wise?
I'm in agreement. It's a horrible game to pick. I'm not going for either of them because Dolphins last week surprised me. And the Jags, they nearly pulled it off. So I'm going to pick if I'm going to take on this, I'm going to go with the Jags. I'm going to stick with them. I think that's the only way. It's a toss-up game.
Fair enough. Shirtless, any input on this?
I think simply the Jaguars looked really good the first 2 weeks. The Dolphins only looked good in week 2. I'm picking the Jags in this game, and I'm definitely taking the overs. 2 bad teams, I think, will put up a lot of points.
Okay, Football Guru Nate, I have an over-under total of 48.5. What do you like, over or under there?
I don't know, man. The Jags can score. I think they cover their side. I just have questions about the Dolphins. I don't want to touch that at all, just like you said. But if I gotta pick something, then I would go the overs just because the Dolphins put up points against a good Bills defense. But I don't know.
Yeah, this is not a game I'm really interested in. Maybe a live bet if I'm watching and I get bored, if a team goes down one way or the other, like the Raiders and Saints game. That was an easy live bet at plus 10.5. Shirtless, I know you slammed that when you saw Raiders plus 10.5 after they went down. But anyways, not to bring that up again. I was just giving an example. Sorry, Nate. Okay, we'll move on to the next game on the slate. We are on Bovada, by the way, going game by game. I have the Chicago Bears going into Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The spread is 3.5 in favor of the Falcons. And the over-under total is 47.5. Football Guru Nate, I will come to you. Falcons minus 3.5 or Bears in the plus? What do you like?
I got to go Bears in the plus. I think they win this game outright. Atlanta's gone against 2 terrible defenses this year. Seattle, their defense is not what it used to be. And Dallas, their defense is nowhere near good either. The Bears have a good defense. And Trubisky, as limited as he is, the Bears can prove they can score. The Falcons, they wanted to give up a 20-point lead to Dallas. I think the Bears win this game. I like them in the plus.
Shirtless, over-under total, 47.5. Do you like the over or under here? I feel like a lot of people are going to like the over just because the Falcons' defense is so bad. But why is it so low?
That's what's worrying me too, is that over-under being so low. But I think it's because people don't expect the Bears to score. I mean, honestly, I've not been impressed with the Bears. I think they put up 21 against the Giants defense, and I do not like the Giants defense at all. I mean, they put up 28 against the Lions, but that's they were down. They barely scored in the fourth quarter. I'm just not impressed with the Bears offense. I mean, I'm in disagreement with Nate here. I think it's the Falcons. I just think that if the Falcons go up 20-7 against the Bears, the Bears can't keep up. They don't have the weapons that the Cowboys did on offense.
Foreigner, any input on spread or game total?
I think I would probably take the overs as well. I think Falcons offense is incredible. I think Bears who have good defense, but I feel like Atlanta are going to be putting over 30 points on their own every single game this season. So I'll take the overs on that game.
And the line on this game started, where is this game at? There it is. The line started Atlanta by 3.5, and that is exactly what it is. So no one really touching this game so far. I can kind of understand why. I kind of like the Bears just because they've been winning games, but maybe the Falcons are due for a win finally. Not sure. Let's move on. I don't like that game. We're going to go to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a game that interests me. It is Eagles by 5, and the line started at 5.5, so it hasn't moved a whole lot. I kind of like the Eagles here. I think this Cincinnati team, their O-line is so bad that I think the Eagles defense is going to be able to take care of getting to Joe Burrow. But if he can run the ball, we might see a couple scores. And I don't think the Eagles are going to score much, man. Their offenses looked horrible. They were at home against the Rams, and they just poor performance. The Foreigner, you have any input on the game here? Eagles, a 5-point favorite?
I don't think they're that much favorites, to be honest. I mean, you're right. All the points you made, Bengals is, they're in rebuild mode, so they're not got much on the offensive line. And the Eagles, I do not like Carson Wentz on it. They're not firing this year. I said I probably wouldn't touch this game, and I'm going to leave it at with that one.
Football Guru, 0-2 teams here. The game total is 46.5. Do you like the game total or the spread?
I'll tell you what, I don't. After the Eagles' performances last 2 weeks, I don't like either of those. This is my last week. I'm going to put my money on Carson Wentz. I do think he has the ability to be good, but he hasn't proven it so far. This is my last week of hope in him. He lets me down again. I got to move off him for good.
Yeah, agreed. Shirtless, any input here?
All I'm going to say is Bengals are still rebuilding, and the Eagles are supposed to compete this year, so it's a must-win for the Eagles, and I think they're going to cover the spread. I think they win by 7-10.
I agree with the must-win here. I mean, it got to start getting something going. Okay, we move on to Houston. They go into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a 4-point favorite in Heinz Field. The over-under total is 45. Football Guru Nate, I'll turn it over to you. Steelers or Houston here?
This is tough luck for Houston, man. You start with the Chiefs and you go to the Ravens and then Pittsburgh. Man, I think Deshaun Watson is tired of losing, though. The Steelers look good. For some reason, I have a feeling Deshaun Watson is just angry and is going to pull this out for them. I think the Houston covers.
The Foreigner, I see you shaking your head. I know we both love Pittsburgh's defense. So you want to hype them up real quick?
Yeah, I think the Steelers, you got to slam some money on this one. I mean, their defense is going to destroy the defensive line for Texans. I think their offense, Juju looks good this year. I think it's a nail on for the Steelers. They look very impressive.
Real quick, I'm going to interject. Pittsburgh started this game, according to the VegasInsider.com, the opening line was 6 in favor of Pittsburgh, and it's moved to 4. Pretty interesting that it is going in favor of Houston. I don't really like Houston, but if the line is moving, then supposedly the bettors know something here, maybe that we don't, about this Houston team. Maybe they finally pull a game off. Shirtless, anything you have to say?
All I'm saying is I think the Steelers do win this game, but I think it's closer than people expect. I'm taking the Texans +4. I think they lose by 2 to 3 points. I think that's why the line's dropping, is people think it's going to be a close game.
Okay. We move on to the Raiders and the Patriots. Patriots are favored by 6. The over-under total is 47.5. I know we were all over the Raiders last week, but I love the Patriots here. I think this 6-point spread tells us all we need to know, that New England is the real deal and the Raiders are not. Unfortunately, I like Gruden. I like Carr. Clinton, I know you hyped up Carr earlier, but I loved what I saw from Cam Newton against Seattle. I know Seattle's defense isn't that good, but the Raiders' defense isn't that good either. I gotta go with the Patriots here. Shirtless Wonder, I'll turn this over to you.
I mean, if we're talking spread here, I like Raiders +6. I don't think Patriots beat them by more than 6. I think maybe, it's a 31-28 game, something like that. I think the Raiders offensively are, top tier, top 8, top 10 team in this league. I think Josh Jacobs is a top 5 back. Like I said earlier, Derek Carr, top 10 quarterback. Patriots did impress me Sunday night against the Seahawks, but they were down, 14, 13 points with 6 minutes left. Yeah, they came back, but they were still getting dominated majority of that game.
Point spread is 47.5. So Shirtless, do you like the over as well?
I would take the over, yeah. I think the Patriots will put up 28, and I could see the Raiders, like I said, putting up 30+.
Foreigner, you like the over here as well?
I love the overs here. Cam impressed me a lot. He looked back to his 2015 days. I mean, I wish he was still a Panther. I think the Raiders are great offensive team. Josh Jacobs, wow, he's doing well, and Derek Carr, never been the biggest fan, and he's looking like a early MVP kind of guy. So I'm definitely taking the overs here. I think it's going to be both teams in the 30 points.
You know what I do really like about the Raiders, though? They weren't able to run the ball that well last week, and they still won the game. Jacob, that the offense revolves around Josh Jacobs.
And don't forget, they were also +6 at the start of last week as well to the Saints. Came back and won that game.
And we saw something. I remember I talked to you Monday, Clinton. I saw the line was 6.5 in favor of New Orleans, and the line on Bovada moved all the way down to 4.5. I don't know if someone slammed the Raiders heavy. I don't know what happened, but that kind of told me something that the Raiders were potentially going to keep it close in that game. Nate, I'll turn it over to you real quick. You like the Raiders or no way?
I like Patriots at home. The Raiders did very good against the Saints, and they outplayed the Saints. But the Saints also beat themselves with penalties. I don't think Bill Belichick's team does that. I like the way Cam's playing. The Raiders on the road, they're still high after a win. I think the Patriots cover, and I like the unders in this game as well.
Okay. Wise friend Matt Pajau once told me that winning in Foxborough is not easy. So I like the Patriots here. Next game we got on the slate, we have the Rams taking on the Bills. The Bills are favored by 2. I believe they were favored. Let me find. The Bills were favored by 3 to start, and now we see it down to 2. The Rams are 2-0. The Bills are 2-0. Football Guru Nate, what do you think here?
I don't think the Rams are as good as people say. Until I see them beat a legitimate team, I'm going to keep on saying that. Could they beat the Bills? Sure. The Bills didn't cover last week, but at home, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league at the moment. I think the Bills win. I think they cover fairly easily.
I think the weather might get to the Rams. I know that might not be something we all think about, but I think it's pretty cold in Buffalo, right? And the Rams playing the nice summer sun most of the season long. So you never know. I think it's gonna be a close game. Shirtless Wonder, I'll turn this over to you real fast to cover the over under. The over under is 47. What do you like there?
I would think the overs are definitely going to hit. You just saw the Rams put up 39 last weekend, and the Bills put up 31 after I think they put up almost that much week 1 also. Put up, 27, something like that. So I think Bills, Josh Allen throwing for 300-plus yards both games. I just think it's, it's going to turn into a shootout. So, 47 is not that many points if you actually think about it. 24-24, you're already over. So I could see the final score being, 28-24, something like that, 27-24.
Warner, Bills -2 or Rams in the plus?
I'm going to go Bills -2 there. I think that's a safe bet this week. I think good team. It's going to be a close game. So I'm going to go with Bills -2.
I'm taking the Bills as well, obviously, because I have them to win the division before the season started at +120, I believe. So need the Bills to win. And I do like them here. I think that they can pull this game off. But let's move on to the Niners and the Giants. The spread is Niners by 4 on the road. They go into New York. The game started at a spread of 6.5 and now is all the way down to 4. People are betting the Giants. People do not believe in the Niners this year. I am not a 49ers believer, even though they made the Jets look horrible in New York. We saw injuries. I have an injury update. The 49ers lost Bosa and Solomon. They are both on the IR. I believe Jimmy G is going to play this week, and they also signed Ezekiel Ansah. So gives them something on defense.
They had they had the news report come out that Jimmy's not practicing the whole week, but it looks like Nick Mullins is going to catch
What about Mosa as well? He came off injured. Is he?
Oh, he's out for a few weeks. So is Tevin Coleman. Their whole team's out.
Big, yeah.
So I will turn this over to you then, Shirtless. Do you like the Giants in the plus?
Here's a problem I have. I took Niners money line at the beginning of this week because I thought Jimmy G was all right to play. I thought they were going to do. Jimmy G's now out. So Nick Mullins is now playing the Giants. My biggest thing is we're talking spread here. I'm easily taking Giants +4. However, I still think the Niners pull off this win. I think the Niners have still a better team than the Giants do, especially without Barkley in the backfield. So
yeah, just to update, Saquon most likely done for the season. I would say ACL. Giants did sign Devonta Freeman, decent running back, not great. I don't know. The Giants' O-line is
terrible,
very below average, even with the addition of Thomas. Is his name?
Yeah,
the first rounder. Shirtless.
Andrew Thomas.
Thank you. The foreigner. Give me the over/under. We have 41.5. Very low. That might be the lowest game. Yeah, that is the lowest game total this week.
I mean,
what do you think?
Both of their offenses have lost key players. I mean, Saquon is. I mean, I like Daniel Jones as a quarterback there. I think he's doing a little bit better this season. But Saquon, they revolve around that team. It's their whole offense is based on him. So, yes, they got some good wide receivers. And the Niners losing Mostert, Jimmy G, and then, George Kittle's still out from week 1. So, who are they going to be fucking to? Debo's still out.
I think George Kittle's supposed to be back this weekend, however.
I mean, it's a very low at 41.5, so I might be inclined to take it, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to touch that bet.
No, I agree. And shout out to the Shirtless Wonder for the call on Jordan Reed last week. I was putting together a lineup, and he goes, "Hey, dude, plug Jordan Reed in. Guy scores 2 touchdowns." I wasn't even thinking about him. So thank you for that, Shirtless. Football Guru Nate, I will turn this over to you real fast for a choice on this interesting game we have here.
Well, the Giants still put up a lot of points last week, even without a lot of their key players. I think the overs hit. I think the overs hit, and it might be close, but the Giants they're just not good. Daniel Jones can get you some points, so I like that for the overs, but I think the Niners score all over this Niners defense, even without half their squad.
Okay. Now, this is my favorite game. The Titans going into the Minnesota to play the Vikings. Titans are favored by 2.5. This game started as a pick'em, if that tells you guys anything. So people are slamming Tennessee. This is probably my favorite game of the week. As you guys know, I dislike the Vikings to a max this year. I liked them last year, but I'm now that I look at it, I'm probably going to be all in on Tennessee. Might just be a straight wager. Tennessee to either win. Let's check the money line. Money line only it's minus 140, so 140 wins $100. I don't see anything wrong with the Titans to win here. It is in Minnesota, but Green Bay played in Minnesota week 1, right? And they won by
convincingly.
15, 20 convincingly. Thank you. Yeah, it was never close.
Wow.
Foreigner, do you agree with me? What do you got?
100% I'm in agreement. This Viking team is trash. It's bottom 5, as you said. I mean, they're just lucky the Panthers and, New York are that bad still. So I'm going to slam on the Titans as well. I mean, yes, they're not firing in all cylinders this season, but they're a lot better than this Vikings team. So I'm going to go a lot of money on them. So I'll probably take the money line for them to win as well.
Yeah, I like that money line number just in case. You never know. 2.5, but money line, you can always win by 1 or 2. Shirtless, the over-under is 49. They're expecting a decent amount of points to be scored, as am I. I just don't think Minnesota's going to be the one that scores them.
I definitely think it's the under, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, Tennessee did score 33 last weekend, but I think they revert back to, Derrick Henry getting the ball 30 times like he did the first 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. You have Dalvin Cook over there. I mean, Kirk Cousins can't throw a football. He's looking terrible. So I think the Vikings revert back to running the ball over there. I'm thinking, slow, 20-17 win, 24-10 win for the Tennessee Titans.
Okay. Football Guru Nate, do you like the over or the under? Do you agree with Shirtless Wonder?
1 second here. I like the under as well. I agree. So this is the stat I just pulled up. The Titans defense have given up the 23rd most rush yards per game. Okay. And the Vikings defense again the 28th most rush yards per game.
Okay.
So
it's going to be a slow
Dalvin
pace.
Cook and Derrick Henry. It's going to be run the ball up the gut 2 times and then maybe throw the ball on 3rd down. and it's going to be like that every single drive, and that's how they're going to score. I think they're long drives, and some might end with field goals. I don't think the overs hit. I think Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry have big games, but those are the only guys who are going to have big games.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. I sort of agree with you guys. I know that both these teams have been just giving up a lot of points, though. Minnesota gave up, 25-plus points to the Colts, and then Tennessee gave up, 30 to the Jags? Wow. Was not expecting that. I think they were one of the most expensive defenses on DFS last week. I think they were on FanDuel, maybe $4,000, which was the highest amount that a defense was. So we'll see. I like the Titans, though. I think we're all in agreement here with that one. Let's move on to the Washington football team going into Cleveland to take on the Browns. Cleveland is favored by 7. I think this is an appropriate line. The opening line was 5.5, and it got bumped up to 7. People are betting Cleveland. I like Cleveland. I did not like what I saw from the football team against Arizona. Either one of two things, though. Either the football team isn't that bad because they did beat the Eagles, or Arizona's just really good. Personally, I'm going to take the Browns here and give up the 7, which sucks, but got to do it. Point spread is 45. Foreigner, do you like either the spread or the game total?
I'm undecided on this game. I mean, as you said, the Washington football team, week 1 looks good, but we're all in agreement Eagles are not a good team this year. The Browns look awful week 1, but last week the tandem of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb just seemed to score a lot of points. So I'm generally not going to touch this game personally, but if I have to, I'll take the Browns at -7, I guess.
Yeah, not my favorite play either. Not something that I'm really interested in. Shirtless, anything you like here?
I'm buying half a point. I'm taking the Browns -6.5 here. And I just think, Washington football team killed the Eagles when they couldn't run the ball. But when they ran into Kyle Murray, who basically ran the ball for the Cardinals, they had a problem. I think the Browns just run it down their throat. They don't have to worry about the defensive line when they're getting 100 yards rushing from both.
Yeah, how about that tandem of Chubb and Hunt last week? I know that they played the Bengals and that D-line is pretty weak, but I think both of them rushed for over 100 yards. Foreigner, I think you had told me that. Just insane. I mean, that's a killer duo back there. Football Guru, I'll let you speak about this game.
I'm looking at the stats for the Washington football team. They're 1-1, but their offensive stats are total yards 31st, passing yards 31st, rushing yards 24th, points 24th, third down percentage 32nd. They're terrible. That's terrible. As the shirtless wonder would say, it's like a trash can fighting another trash can. I think the Browns win by 7. I think their defense finally holds steady this week. I think Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb have big weeks. I don't even think it's close.
I want to say something real fast about the Browns, though. I don't think the Browns are terrible. I think they ran into a very good Baltimore Ravens football team week 1, and what happens what everyone expected to happen. The Ravens to be on a roll. They're angry they lost last year. They're on a roll. They're trying to prove something this year. The Browns came out, and what did they do week 2? They won. I mean, was it an ugly win? I mean, technically. I mean, they barely won by 5 points. But I don't know. I think a win like that gives you a little bit of confidence. And look out for the Browns this year, man. That running back combo they have back there is good. It's a good running back combo.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was going to make that same point, but you made it first. So I was just going to say I like the Browns as well. The running backs are insane. And I think Baker will step it up. I know, Clinton, you've been a big Baker Mayfield fan since he came into the league. I kind of like the Browns this year as well. I think they pull this game out. I think that they were in control of the game against the Bengals the whole time. They had the game locked up. I think that they just got a little sloppy towards the end, which I think they'll fix. So I think that they take down this Washington football team fairly easily. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's move on to the afternoon slate games. We see the Carolina Panthers going into Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. The spread is 6.5 in favor of the Chargers with an over-under total of 43.5. The Foreigner – I'm sorry about the Panthers last week, man. It was I knew when – I think Bridgewater threw an interception when they were in kind of towards the end zone. Shirtless wonder was that happened. Yeah, I knew when that. I think that was early on in the game, right? I knew when that happened. I knew that the Bucs were going to win because I saw the line start to change. It went from 9.5 all the way down to like 7.5 right before the game started. And I was kind of freaking out. I was like, okay, what's going on here? And I saw a couple people taking Panthers money line. And I told Shirtless, I was like, what is going on? Are we going to lose this game? So once that happened, I knew the Panthers were going to lose. So Foreigner, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get into this week. We'll move on from last week. Against the Chargers, I think Herbert is pretty much going to start. I like the Chargers because Herbert, if Tyrod was quarterback this week, I would have taken the 6.5. But with Herbert as quarterback, I think anything can happen. Foreigner, I'll let you speak about it. Go ahead.
I mean, I have to admit we are trash this year. Probably one of the bottom two teams. And I mean, I'm gonna hope they're gonna win. You know, obviously as a fan, but the way I look at it is our offense is pretty decent. I would say it's a middle of the NFL kind of standing offense. It's pretty decent. Yet the Chargers defense is really good, and the difference between them two is not much. Their offense is a lot better than our defense. So I think it's going to be, we'll score some points on them. I think we'll definitely get a couple of touchdowns. Chargers, though, I think they're going to sadly beat us. If I'm taking this, I'm taking the Chargers. -6.5. Yeah, I'd probably take that, and I'm taking the overs on that for sure.
Coming from a Panthers fan who doesn't like his own team, it's disappointing, man. It really is. Football Guru Nate, do you like the 43.5? I kind of like the over, I guess. I don't think that's something I touched. You any opinion?
I love the Chargers. I don't give a fuck about the point total. If Justin Herbert starts, this Chargers team is going to roll the Panthers. They held the Super Bowl champions to 23 points and lost in an overtime field goal. They're good. Herbert's the real deal. I don't think that was a fluke. If Herbert starts, I love the Chargers. Screw the point total. This is my favorite game of the week. I'm putting everything I have on the Chargers.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to root for the Chargers with you on Sunday. Shirtless, anything you like about this game?
I think the overs are going to hit because the Panthers are going to throw the ball 90 times with CMC out.
Yeah.
And then for the Chargers, I read something today that Tyrod's for sure out this weekend. So Herbert is getting a full week of preparation. You know, he's not finding out an hour before kickoff he's starting. So with that in mind, I think, he throws another 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against that awful defense. So, yeah, I'm taking Chargers -6.5.
Yeah, McCaffrey did hit the IR or the injured reserve list, unfortunately, for the Panthers. It's just a tough blow for them on a poor start to the season. So after they lost to the Raiders by 3, that was just that kind of the whole season kind of just negative outlook, in my opinion. Let's move on. The Colts against the Jets. The Colts are favored by 11. Wow. The spread started at Colts by 7. It's moved 4 points. And it's, what day is it? Wednesday? I don't know. I guess the betting public likes the Colts. I kind of like the Colts. The Jets are so bad. Do we even – Shirtless Wonder, I'm going to ask you this because I like to make teasers. Are the Jets even an option to tease this week if I'm getting like 18 or 19 points?
Here's if I'm being honest, taking a team plus 18 or 19 sounds great, but not for the Jets, man. Literally, you saw how many injuries hit the Niners last weekend, and they still destroyed the Jets. I don't know what it is with the Jets. I just don't think they, they care about the season anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the only thing that scares me about this game is that the Colts played the last time they were heavily favorited against the Jaguars. They lost the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could be a history of them playing down to their opponents. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not taking that spread. I don't ever like team -11. But I definitely think the Colts win this game.
Yeah, real quick. I know that Mostert ran. You think we all saw that touchdown he scored on the first or second play of the game, 75 yards. And I know McKinnon had 3 rushes for 77 yards. So the Jets' rush defense is – I think Taylor, Colts running back, just shreds through this team this week. I know he is probably going to be in DFS in the DFS world, I think he's going to be probably 50% owned in almost every contest. Shirtless, why do you agree with me there? I mean, why not play him, right?
He's been looking good the first 2 weeks too. My buddy's a Colts fan, and he told me week 1 to watch out for Taylor, and I said, dude, you're crazy. There's no way. He had 9 carries for 22 yards. I looked at fantasy. He had like 6 catches for 60. So he's in the passing game, the rushing game. I saw last weekend the Jets had the Niners 3rd and 22 or something on their own 10-yard line.
Oh,
a draw to Jerick McKinnon.
It was 3rd and 31. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that play.
35 yards. Oh, my God. This Jets defense is terrible.
Yeah, that was disappointing. I was not happy. Football guru Nate, anything on this game here?
I don't like big spreads, but I hate the Jets even more. They're terrible. It's just hard to watch. I'm gonna put money on the Colts and not watch the game because it's just gonna hurt. I like the overs though. I think the Jets score 10 to 17 garbage points, and the Colts score 30 to 38. I slam the over, slam the Colts.
Yeah, over-under is 44. Foreigner, anything on this one?
I'm slamming it all on the Colts. I mean, this Jets team the Panthers are a bad team. We're a lot better than the Jets. So these Colts have got to just destroy this team. If the Colts lose this, then wow, that's the biggest shock that I've seen in football.
I want to ask you guys something real fast. Hold on. I'm gonna pull something up because I want to know if you guys know the answer to this. Do you know any active, so not counting Jamison Crowder and not counting Rashad Perriman because they are both out, do you guys know any active receivers on the New York Jets right now?
Like receivers?
I don't.
Like
I know
not tight
they
end.
drafted one.
What? No, Shirtless, what were you saying?
Not tight ends, right?
No, not tight ends, not Herndon. Herndon doesn't count. I'm talking active wide receivers.
Active wide receivers, I honestly can't name you one.
Because I know Hogan left the game with a rib injury. Perriman is expected to miss some games, and Crowder is out. I saw some guy, I don't even remember his name, Braxton Berrios. That was a guy. He caught a touchdown last week. So that's their number 1 receiver, I believe, going into this week.
The guy they drafted from Baylor, he's out too. He was put on IR with Le'Veon Bell.
Jeff Smith or Vincent Smith. I just don't even see. I don't know what do they do this week? Do they throw the ball? I mean, football guru Nate, are you trying out for the Jets or?
I might as well. Shoot, if all my uncles could go play for them, it seems like they need some open tryouts.
I mean, this is just sad. Frank Gore is the starting running back, guys. He's like 40.
He's my grandfather.
My dad might be able to go out there and run as good as Frank Gore. I don't know what to say. This is a horrible team. The spread is 11 for a reason. Okay, we got a couple more games, and then we are going to go into a couple different categories. We have the Seahawks and Cowboys. Football guru Nate, I'll turn this one over to you. The spread is Seahawks by 5, and the over-under total, 56. Wow.
Here's the thing. Seattle's defense has given up, I think, the most passing yards this far. They're not good. They're not good at all. But Russell Wilson is an animal. He's going to put up a lot of points. Let Russell cook, man. The guy is, like I said last week, he is easily seen as a top 3 quarterback, and I still think he's underrated. I think Dak puts up a lot of big numbers. I don't think he pulls out the win. I don't know about the spread, but I know Russell Wilson's going to come away with the dub this week.
Yeah, the spread started at 3.5 in favor of Seattle and has moved up to 5. So the betting public obviously taking Seattle here. Shirtless, any opinion?
Long story short, I think the only chance the Cowboys have to win this game is to hand off the ball to Zeke and keep Russell Wilson off the field. But I just think the Wilson's too good on offense. I think the Seahawks win.
Okay. Foreigner, anything?
Yeah, I just looked up. Dak Prescott's already thrown for 716 yards. Nate said the Seahawks are giving up the most passing yards. So I'm taking the overs on this because both quarterbacks are playing really well this season. Both offenses are good. Both defenses are below average. So I'm taking game-wise, I'm going Seahawks. but I'm definitely taking the overs, even though it's that high.
Big number. That is a big number to bet on. 56. It's going to be tough to get. Okay, let's move on to the Cardinals game. They are taking on the Lions. That game is in Arizona. You know what? I'm gonna roll with Detroit one more week. I'm going to give them one more try to benefit me. I'm going to take Detroit +6. The spread is 6. I think they cover just because the game total is 55. That's the only reason. I don't know why it's so high. So obviously they think Detroit's going to score some points or Arizona's going to blow them out of the water. Shirtless Wonder, do you like Detroit with me or no?
Here's the thing. I said last week when we looked at our podcast that there's only, teams don't blow fourth quarter leads like that twice in a season unless your name is the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions blew another lead this weekend in Green Bay. However, I think this is my upset of the week. I think the Detroit Lions go into there and they actually win this game against the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals played the Niners, yeah. We already discussed the Niners didn't look the greatest, injuries and everything else. Cardinals barely squeaked out of that with a win. Then they played probably the third worst team in the NFL, in the Washington football team. They put on a show against them. I think the Detroit Lions have enough firepower on offense, unlike the football team, to keep up with them. And I think they eke out a win 30-27.
Wow. So you think it gets to about the total, a little bit over, and Detroit wins. I couldn't agree with you more. Nate, I feel like you have an opposing opinion, so I'm going to turn this over to you.
I like what I've seen from the Cardinals, but I'm actually going to agree with you. Kenny Golladay is expected to play this week, and he is probably the most underrated receiver in the league. I think he led the entire NFL in receiving touchdowns last season. The guy is an animal, and I don't think the Cardinals have an answer to that. They're going to put up points, so I don't think the Cardinals win by 6. Could the Cardinals pull away with the win? Yeah, I see that happening, but I don't think by 6 at all. I think it's by a field goal maybe.
Foreigner, what do you like? What team?
I completely disagree with all of you. I think this Cardinal team are legit. And going off Nate there, I think, yes, Kenny Golladay is a great wide receiver. You're saying they got no one's coach. They got Patrick Peterson, one of the best corners, I think, in the league still. I think he's coming back from injury. He's not fully ready yet, I don't think. So I think Cardinals win this with ease. The overs, I'm not going to touch that. I think they're both going to put up points. I just think it's not a Seahawks kind of Dallas game where I think they're really, it's more guaranteed. I'm slamming the Cardinals on this one. I think you guys are all wrong. I think that's not the upset of the week.
Wow. Okay, there you go. We move on. Tampa Bay goes to Mile High in Denver. Shirtless Wonder, if I told you I was scared, would you believe me? Here's the reason. The spread started, I believe, at 6. And let me make sure. No, sorry. It started at 3.5. Well, started at 3.5. It's moved to 6, but it was at 6 as I can, what I mean? It's been at 6 for a while. Why hasn't it gone to 7 or 8? We see Drew Lock is out. Sutton's out for the season. Philip Lindsay, I don't know if he's going to play. Von Miller's not there. Who's playing for Denver?
Not there. Nobody.
Who's playing for Denver, and why hasn't the spread moved to 7 or 8?
I think they expect it. Brady's playing in Denver, Brady has a history of playing poorly in Denver. I think the the Bucs, this is my lock of the week. I don't think the Bucs lose this game. No way. No way you play Jeff Driscoll and you lose this game. It's my lock of the week. However, I agree with you. The -6, because it's not going up, it scares me a little bit. I could see the Bucs winning by, 4 points, 28-24, something like that, 2017. I could see it being a low-scoring game. I just think the Bucs defense is very underrated. What we did to the Panthers, we just literally, this team that put up 30 against the Raiders, we just destroyed them last weekend. And I think we do the same thing to a worse quarterback, Jeff Driscoll. I think he gets sacked 5 to 6 times. The Panthers' offensive line is probably just as good as the Broncos, if not a little better. And I just think that, we destroy him. I think Devin White can shut down Noah Fant when he's running across the middle. So I think the game, ends 20-17, 20-14.
Steelers barely snuck out last week at home against Denver. They won by 5. Denver actually played this game pretty close for the most part. I thought the Steelers would win by more than 5, but
you have to factor in the fact they planned for Drew Lock all week, and then, in the first quarter they get this other quarterback thrown in there. I mean, that does play a factor. Yeah, is he not as good of a quarterback? Yeah, but I mean, the entire offense looks different with him throwing the ball compared to Drew Lock.
Still scored 21 against arguably the best defense in the league. So I don't know. I'm not 100% on this game. Obviously, we need the Bucs to win, but Foreigner, any kind of opinion here?
I mean, I don't like really any of these odds. I probably won't touch it. I think if I'm gonna put a bet on, I'm slamming it on the Bucs to win. The -6. I think it's gonna be a very close game. So yes, but overs and unders, I don't know about that. I think they're gonna beat them, but I think it's gonna be a 24-7 kind of game. So
Nate, you have any input here or not much?
I'll tell you what. On my flight home from New York after I try out for the Jets, I'm going to make a stop in Denver and do the same thing with the Broncos because they got nobody. They've had so many injuries, people forget that Von Miller got injured like 20 minutes ago too. They got nobody. Brady is old and he's going to a very high climate where the air is thinner. I don't care. The Bucs are going to roll. It's not going to be a contest. Their offense is better than the Steelers. I think Brady throws for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette combined for 150 yards and another touchdown. It's not a question.
Well, you reassured me a little bit there. Thank you for that. And Shirtless Wonder, for 1 minute, can we just talk about how good Fournette was last week?
That I love the way we have our backfield set up. You have Ronald Jones come in the first quarter. He gets the bulk of the carries, to start off the game. LaShawn McCoy comes in, third down back, whatever. And then, the last 2 quarters when we need to seal the game, you give it to Leonard Fournette, a powerhouse in the backfield who just wears down this already tired defense. I mean, he had 12 carries for 106 and 2 touchdowns. I'm telling you, I think a lot of people want Leonard Fournette to start right now, but I just love the way our backfield's set up. I mean, what's the name? Ronald Jones didn't look too bad. The guy had a rushing touchdown. I think he had like 9 carries for 22 yards. But, at the same time, I just think they complement each other very well. I think we have a very good backfield over there in Tampa.
I agree with everything that you just said. Let's move on. We have 2 more games. The Sunday night game, we have an awesome game here at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. New Orleans at home against Green Bay. Green Bay is +3. Nate, I don't even really want to talk about this game because I already know everyone's going to say they like Green Bay. Let me just start off by saying I have the opening line at 6.5 in favor of New Orleans, and it's gone down to 3. 3 exactly. I think I remember seeing it at 3 since the get-go, but I don't know if it was. I guess it was at 6.5 at one point. Foreigner, I don't want to do this to Nate, but go ahead and give your opinion here.
Well, what can I say? I do not like the Saints here. I'm taking the Packers. I'm taking them to win, and that's all I'm going to do. I'll put some substantial money on them winning, and I think the overs hit, though, because I do really like Kamara for the Saints. But Aaron Rodgers, man, he's definitely going to do what Derek Carr did to you on Monday night. And I think it's going to be another close game, but Packers win.
Over-under is 52.5. And Shirtless Wonder, let's go to you. I was surprised to see how much Brady struggled against the Saints, and then to see how Derek Carr didn't struggle at all after the first, I think, possession. He got sacked like twice, or maybe the second possession. But after that, he looked like probably the best quarterback in the league. Can you elaborate on this game at all? Do you like either side?
Here's my thing. I think the Raiders offense did better against the Saints defense than the Bucs did, just because of, I think it's the little things, timing. Brady never played with this offense, everything else. First game of the season, and they were in New Orleans. I think being in New Orleans is a big factor in it as well, even with no fans. However, they did still give up 31 to the Raiders, and I think the Packers offense is way better than the Raiders offense. They also only scored 24 against the Raiders defense. I think the Packers defense is way better than the Raiders. So I don't think this game is close. I actually read a stat today about Drew Brees, and I had to, double watch it because how bad this stat was. And it said Drew Brees has only thrown one ball in the air that stayed in the air over 35 yards one time since 2018.
Ooh.
Like, to me, I had to watch that video like 4 times. I said, no way. I had to look, had to do it, like study it. I mean, yeah, the Saints offense is great, check downs, everything else. Alvin Kamara, I mean, Nate was sitting there, and I don't think Nate was down there with me when I said it, but I was down there. I had Breeze under 270 yards throwing, and game was over or whatever. And I was like, I literally was calling their plays. Oh, he's throwing it to Kamara. Oh, he's throwing it to Kamara. Oh, he's throwing it to Kamara. It just seems like he throws it to him 100 times in the game. Like, he doesn't throw the ball past 10 yards. I mean, Rodgers is a completely different story. He's in the MVP consideration. I really like the Packers here. And if I had to choose, I'm choosing the over just because I think the Packers scored probably 35 to 42 by themselves.
Nate, I told you last week that I had my one game to root against New Orleans, so I will not be rooting against New Orleans this week just because you are my friend. But go ahead and give me – I don't really like New Orleans too much. I won't be touching this game, though. I won't be touching this game because I do think New Orleans could win this ball game. I really do. I think that they have a decent shot. They are still favored. We have to realize that, although it has moved a couple points, they are favored. Green Bay is really good. So Vegas kind of knows something here that they can't just make this game a pick 'em. Nate, you got anything to elaborate?
Well, Michael Thomas is still out. That's going to kill the Saints like it did last week. But if a couple things happen, I think the Saints pull away. One is Marcus Davenport. He's questionable to play this week. He hasn't made a season debut yet. He's a very, very good defensive end on the opposite side of Cameron Jordan and kind of evens out that playing field. 2, they got to clean up the penalties. I think they gave up like 12 penalties for over 100 and something yards. And you can't do that against good teams, against good quarterbacks. You can't keep their drives alive. If they didn't have any of the penalties last week, they pulled away against the Raiders. And I think that's, a true statement. If they can do those things and a Davenport plays and they're at home, I think they can win. But I think there's a better chance right now that Green Bay wins this game more than I thought that the Raiders were going to win the game before the game last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's Green Bay.
Yeah, so I'm going to pick the Saints. Those are my boys. I love them. I think Sean Payton and that defense cleans up their act a little bit. I think, Breeze now has a couple games under his belt without the preseason to get, in sync with these receivers. Emmanuel Sanders, remember, it's his first couple of games for the Saints as well.
Ugly, though.
It did not look good. He's a very good receiver that has not looked good. But I think now, they can figure something out. I think that the Saints can win this game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a fun game. I'm really, really excited to watch this game, and I'm not a fan of either team. I could care less about either team, but I'm just really excited for this game. I don't know why. By the way, I tweeted it out, but how about Tre'Quan Smith over 34.5 yards, getting that done in the first 7 minutes of the ball game? It was the easiest money I've probably ever made in my life. It was simple. It made sense. And Darren Waller to the overs. I was this close to taking that, but it shot up from like 47.5 to 53.5 before game time. So I was like, shoot, I missed out on a better number. So it is what it is. We got Tre'Quan. Okay, last game of the slate, the Monday night game. This game I will not be touching at all whatsoever. The Chiefs going into Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I have no opinion of this game because these are probably arguably the 2 best teams in the league. The over-under is 54, and Baltimore is favored by 3 at home. I feel like that's kind of what the odds makers needed to do just because Baltimore's at home. I feel like if the Chiefs were favored at home, they would be favored by 3. But I don't really – this is just going to be a fun game to watch. Maybe I'll live bet it if one team goes down one way or the other. Nate, anything you got here?
It's home field advantage. That's the only reason why the Ravens are favored. I do like the Ravens defense more than the Chiefs, but I also like the Chiefs offense more than I like the Ravens. So I'm really excited to watch this game. It's going to be fun. I probably won't touch it just because I have no idea what's going to happen. It could either be a blowout by one side, I don't know, or it can be a shootout, or it could be a very close game the entire way, low scoring. But it's going to be a fun game to watch, but I'm going nowhere near with my money.
Yeah, I agree. We have a beautiful Sunday night game and then an awesome Monday night game. But Thursday we have the Jags in Miami. Like, why didn't they flex the Bills and Rams to that game? That would have been so entertaining to watch. And instead we have to sit and watch two teams from Florida that don't know how to play football. Shirtless Wonder, anything on the Ravens in the Chiefs game?
So I actually earlier this week I took the Chiefs plus 3.5 because I figured the game would be close and there's no way the Chiefs lose by more than 3 if they do lose. I think it's a field goal game either way. But plus 160 Chiefs money line, $100 to win 160. I really like that, and I think I'm gonna slam the Chiefs money line. I just think that I love the Ravens. I think they're a good team, but Patrick Mahomes had his bad game last week, and he turned it on in the fourth quarter. I don't think you can bet against the kid. Like, he's just amazing out there on the field, what he's doing and stuff. The Chiefs offense is good enough to score. I could see it like Chiefs Rams, how it was, 3 seasons ago.
I remember that game.
Yeah, was it 54-51 or something?
Yeah.
That was the game in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember the game though. I know. It was. That was a fun
game being like that 100%.
Okay, Foreigner. The over/under total is 54. I guess I like the over. Do you have any?
I love Clinton read my mind just before me. The game back from Kansas versus LA Rams, 54-51.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the best game this season. I love both teams. I think the top 2 quarterbacks in the league, maybe Russell Wilson's a little bit better than Lamar Jackson, but I'm a big believer in him. I think the over's definitely going to hit on this, and close game, but wow, what a game. I can't wait for it. I'm going to skip my Monday night class to watch it.
Yeah, going to be exciting for sure. Okay, so real quick, that is it for the spreads and game totals. We're going to hop into the DFS stack of the week. I just want you guys to give basically a team that you guys like to score a bunch of points this week, and name a couple, name the quarterback and wide receiver duo or quarterback and running back duo that you guys like. I'll start. I think I'm leaning towards. Now I'm gonna get a little. This is not going to be a quarterback actually, but it's going to be a running back and tight end combo. I think I'm leaning towards, believe it or not, and I'm sorry again to the Vikings fans, even if Sal, if you're watching out there, I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to lean towards Derrick Henry just because he had an off week and I think people are going to be away from him, and Jonnu Smith. It's early still. It's early still. I might change my mind. Obviously, you could say Dak and Zeke, the over/under total is 56, but everyone and their mom is going to play Dak and Zeke. So if one of you says that, I won't be mad. You can still say it, but yeah, I think Henry eats this Vikings team alive. I loved what we saw from Taylor last week. I know we talked about it. I don't think they can tackle him. I think he's going to score 3 touchdowns, and I think he's going to rush for over 150 yards. I'll be for sure on the prop bets with Henry, and I really don't really want to take Tannehill. I think Henry is the play here, and like I said, maybe Smith. So I think I can get another quarterback this week. Maybe even, believe it or not, I know this is going to sound crazy, even maybe Deshaun Watson at like 2 or 3% owned in Heinz Field. I think that they actually are going to score because he's going to be running for his life, right? The offensive line is terrible. They're going to blitz every time. Watson could somehow put up like 20 points. I think he's going to have a pretty cheap price tag. I haven't checked it yet, but other than that, maybe that's kind of a quarterback that I'm somewhat looking at. There's obvious plays this week, like Taylor against the Jets, Miles Sanders against Cincinnati. I've already, I make lineups every Monday just to kind of see where everybody's at. So those are a couple of guys I like, but I'll turn this over. Shirtless, what team are you targeting to score basically the most points? What duo, wide receiver and quarterback do you like?
Well, we keep making fun of the game, but I actually think it's Thursday night. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to score, probably the most points. I like, Minshew mania over there. I think Gardner Minshew puts up, another 300-yard, 3-touchdown performance like he has, I think, the last 2 weekends. DJ Chark went nuclear last weekend, and I think he does that again against a worse Dolphins team. And then James Robinson averaged like 6.2 yards per carry or something like that last weekend. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown as a rookie. So I could see him going nuclear too. So I would start all three of them. I think, like I said earlier, I think it's a shootout. I think the Jaguars score 30-plus points, and I think Gardner Minshew throws, 3 touchdowns, and the rookie runs one in.
Okay, so you like the showdown contest with the Jag stack at captain. Anyone in particular, Chark or Minshew or Robinson?
If I was going to put someone at MVP, I'd put Gardner Minshew 100% just because he runs the ball too.
Okay, Foreigner, what team do you like this week? What kind of stack do you like fantasy-wise?
I have two. I have the obvious ones we were talking about earlier, the Browns running back duo, and that's going to do wonders this week. But actually, the one that goes under the radar a lot, but it's just been firing the first 2 weeks, is the Atlanta Falcons with Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley. I think they're just an incredible duo, and I think they're going to be – I mean, Calvin Ridley's had over 100 yards and I think 3 touchdowns already. So – and Matt Ryan, I mean, the boy just slings it. So, and Julio's always covered on the other side. You can't – do you go for Calvin Ridley now and leave arguably one of the best wide receivers in Julio just single coverage? No, they're going to have to stay on him. So I think that's guaranteed points from them guys. And I would put Matt Ryan as my captain just because the boy's going to throw over 400 yards, I think, again. Interesting.
I like that. I kind of like that now that you talk about that, just because it's probably going to be low owned by everybody. I feel like people won't really be on the Falcons. Exactly. Okay, Football Guru Nate, we'll turn this over to you last one, and then we'll get into our winners and losers. Go ahead.
So I like a couple here. I think in the Dallas-Seattle game, everyone's going to talk about Dak and Zeke, but I actually like Wilson and DK more. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think Wilson outplays Dak. And I think DK on the outside, I think he's going to tear it up. I don't know why I think that. I just think Dallas is terrible. They're going to have – it's going to be a lot of throwing the ball. Wilson might scramble a little bit, get you some yards that way. My other pick, though, and part of it is because I'm a fan, is Breeze and Kamara. I think Kamara gets the most targets this week again for the Saints, and I don't think the Saints offense is that stagnant 2 weeks in a row, especially at home. No fans still, I believe, but I still think that game can become a shootout, and I think Breeze and Kamara are going to have a lot of targets, a lot of catches, a lot of yards, and a couple touchdowns.
Okay. I like what you said about the Seahawks. DK made, who is it, Stephon Gilmore kind of look bad shirtless. I know that we really liked what we saw from DK. That was quite the performance. Okay, let's move on to winners and losers. Foreigner, I'm going to start with you. Miami and Jags. Go ahead and give me your pick.
Close one, but I'm going with the Jags.
Okay, I am going to also go with the Jags. Nate, go ahead.
Jags all the way.
Clinton.
Yeah, Jags as well.
Okay, everyone on the Jags. Bears and Falcons. I'll start on this one. Before we go in order, I'm going to take – oh, my goodness. I'm going to take the Falcons, and here's why. I think they're in win now mode. They literally have to win this game. I don't think they choke. I don't think they choke again. They can't lose. If they lose this game, their season is over officially. It is over. So that just for that reason, just because like you said someone said about the Eagles, I think it was Nate, they're in win now mode, or Clinton, one of you guys. But yeah, this is win now mode for the Falcons. Go ahead, Nate. I'll come to you.
I like the Bears. I think the Falcons just can't hold on.
Okay, Clinton.
I definitely think the Falcons win.
Foreigner.
Falcons. The defense is bad, but Trubisky's bad.
All right, Nate. Well, you got a chance here to pick up a game on everybody. That's always good. Okay, Bengals and Eagles. Nate, I'll start with you. Go ahead.
This is my last week of having faith in the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles all day.
Shirtless.
Eagles as well.
Foreigner.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going Bengals.
Ooh, I was writing you down for – oh, my gosh. I did not think that was coming. Okay, I'm going to take the Eagles. Sorry, Joe Burrow. Not this week. Houston and the Steelers. Shirtless Wonder, we're going to start with you. I don't know who you're going to choose here.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers win. They're the better team.
Foreigner?
I mean, me and you love the Steelers, so I'm picking the Steelers, man.
Yeah, I have to take the Steelers. I like them too much. I think they start off the season 3-0. Nate?
I'm taking Houston. I don't think they start the season 0-3.
Wow. Okay. You got a couple of contrarian picks so far. Raiders and Patriots. Scott, go ahead.
I'm going to roll with Cam and the Patriots.
I will take the Patriots as well. Nate, roll this over to you.
Patriots as well.
Clinton?
Yeah, Patriots.
Okay, let's go to the Rams and Bills. I'll start. I'll take the Bills. Football guru Nate, who do you got?
The Bills. Best defense right now that I can think of. And they got Josh Allen, best quarterback I can think of at the moment.
Shirtless?
I'm going Buffalo Bills as well.
Very nice.
15-0, win me that division.
Uh-huh. Foreigner?
I'm going with the Bills. Still saltier than last week, but I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah, it was rough. I know you guys both had him. You and Football Guru had him to cover that 6. What was it, 6, right? That's left a bad taste in my mouth. Mike Gesicki, that guy, of course. That's the one guy who loses it for him. Football Guru Nate, we'll start with you. Niners and Giants.
Go with the Giants. Upset of the week.
Upset of the week, okay. Clinton, over to you.
Yeah, I'm going the Niners. I don't think they lose.
Scott.
I hate both these teams. I'm gonna go with the Giants. The Niners have lost too many starters. I'm going with the Giants.
Okay, Clinton, I'm going to roll with you just because even though I want them to lose, I'm going to go with the Niners. They're the Niners. They're pretty good at football. They were just in the Super Bowl. We have to give them some respect. Okay, we're going to start with Clinton. Titans or Vikings?
Give me the Titans.
Scott?
Titans all day.
I'm taking Titans, obviously.
Yeah,
Nate?
I wrote that. Titans.
Okay, everyone's taking the Titans as am I. Okay, the Browns and Washington football team. I believe we're starting with Scott. I think you're up first here.
I'm going with the Browns for this one, that running back duo.
I got Browns as well. Nate.
Brown.
And Clinton.
I think the Browns win by a hefty amount.
Very nice.
Convincingly.
Okay, I will start in this next game. Chargers and Panthers. I got the Chargers, especially if Mr. Herbert is playing. Love that guy. Nate, what do you got?
Chargers all day. Favorite game of the week.
Shirtless.
Chargers.
And Scott.
Pains me to say this. I've got to go with the Chargers.
Oh, he's getting serious now.
Oh, this guy said I picked Panthers over Bucks last week because I'm a Panthers fan, and now he won't pick the Panthers.
Don't expose me like that. I just have to, there's money on the line on this.
He's
So.
exposed, man. Is everyone good for the Colts? Does anyone want the Jets?
No, Colts.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm going to chalk that up.
Easiest win.
So I don't even want to waste our time with going to – I don't even want to say the J word. Seahawks and Cowboys. Football guru Nate, who do you got?
Seahawks at home.
Okay, Clinton.
Seahawks.
Scott.
Seattle, baby.
Okay, and I am on board with you guys as well. I will take Seattle. I do think it's going to be a close game, though. I think it's going to kind of be like the New England and Seahawks game last week. Lions and Cardinals. I will start with Shirtless, I believe. Who do you got here?
Upset of the week. I think the Detroit Lions walk out of there with the win.
Okay. Foreigner.
I mean, I don't know how you guys are betting against them. It's the Cardinals all day.
Oh, man. I really don't want to get burned by the Lions again. I really don't. I'm gonna take Arizona, although I do like Detroit to cover the spread. So I will take the Cardinals. Nate?
Greg, I'm in agreement with you. I think the Cardinals pull out with the win, but I do not think they cover the spread.
Okay, Clinton, you got a chance here to pick up a game on everyone if you can pull in Detroit. We got a couple more games. Does anyone want to take Denver?
I wish I could, but
All right, I'm putting Bucks down for everybody just because I know that
Bunch of Bucks fans in here, man.
everyone's a Bucks fan, huh, Nate?
Yeah.
Okay, now we got an interesting one. We got two more, Packers and Saints. I'm going to start with the Foreigner. Who do you have in this game?
sorry, Nate, but I mean, it pleases me to say this, actually. The Green Bay Packers, man, going to destroy you.
I'm going to take the Saints, actually, believe it or not. I don't know why. I just kind of have this weird gut feeling. I don't think Sean Payton loses 2 games in a row. Football guru Nate, who do you got?
Yeah, my boys, the Saints, all day.
Beautiful. Like to see that you're on board with your team, unlike someone else over here. Shirtless Wonder, who do you got, man?
Man.
I think, I don't think Sean Payton loses 2 times in a row unless he's playing Aaron Rodgers. So give me the Packers.
Oh, unless he's playing Aaron Rodgers. You caught me off guard there.
Yeah.
Okay. Nate, we got a chance to pick up a game on these guys, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, last game. Chiefs and Baltimore. I think I'm picking first. I don't even want. Oh man. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm gonna take the Ravens just because they're favored and they're at home. That's the only reason. Nate.
I like the Ravens at home.
Okay. Clinton.
Chiefs.
Interesting. Scott.
Ravens all day, I think.
Well, we are. Looks like we have a lot of the same games, and then in some of these we have one person that took the other side. So this is going to be interesting, and it's still close. It's anybody's ball game with our win-loss ratio or our win-loss column so far. So I like this. This is interesting. I like that we did this. Okay. Other than that, we will jump into final thoughts about the upcoming Sunday games. Football guru Nate, I'll start with you. Just anything final thoughts wise.
There's going to be a lot of great games to watch and a lot of games that we're not even going to want to look at. So that's my takeaway this week.
Okay, Shirtless Wonder.
I think there's going to be a lot of changes to the Jets following this weekend. I would not be surprised if Adam Gase is fired after they get blown out this weekend.
Warner?
I mean, there's some beautiful games this week. The Chiefs and Ravens, that's going to be a treat. The same with the Saints and the Packers, Cowboys and Seattle. I'll tell you, though, how the season's going so far, the amount of injuries, I just hope that stops. The big names are out for a long time. So hopefully the injury bug leaves us alone.
Okay. Final thoughts for me. I think that the Vikings show everyone again. I know I harped on this already. I think they show everyone again that they are the worst team in football. I think they dropped to 0-3. And I think that the Rams fail miserably this week. And I think that they show everyone that they aren't that good as well. I think the Rams team they've won 2 games, yeah, but I don't believe in them. I don't believe in Goff still. I know people say, oh, Goff is better than Wentz. Okay. Go ahead and keep saying that. They both aren't that good. I'll take Brady any day of the week. Come on, baby. Let's go. Super Bowl bound. We'll end it at that, boys. Thank you guys all for watching Week 3 NFL Breakdown. It has been a good one. Foreigner, thank you. Shirtless and Nate, appreciate you guys for being here. We got golf this week with the Corrales Punta Cana Open. Joe Vegas, lock of the week. As always, tune in to the golfguru.info for all your golf needs. And I will be posting this football video to the website shortly. It will be up on the YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Thank you guys again. And for everyone that is watching, see ya. Have a good one.
No,